What's up, everybody? Derek Lambert here, 3.5 years clean, still trucking. I wanted to show you something me and Kurt have recently stumbled back across. We used to cut trees down for a living, and we did a lot of arborist work. That's what it's called, a person who pretty much cuts down trees for their living. And me and Kurt were cutting down trees at this house, at a lady's house that was probably 50 yards from where this shooting took place. This gentleman here, to give you a backdrop on the story I'm about to lead into, is actually quite interesting. His life was saved by Kurt and me in this situation, and it was a drug situation. So let me tell you guys the story. It's quite interesting. Okay, so me and Kurt were cutting limbs down at this lady's house right down the street, and I hear a pow! As soon as I hear that pow, I'm looking around, because cutting trees, you know, it makes the same noise as a gunshot whenever there's a limb breaking or popping and falling down. I'm like, watch out, headache, headache. Well, there was no limb, so we kept working, and I was like, what the heck was that noise? Well, this little boy comes running up around the house. He's crying out for help. Help, 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 come help. We run up the street. There's this gentleman laying down with his head on the ground, and he's shaking, and his eyes are rolling in the back of his head, and he's literally just convulsing. Well, while we're there, Kurt immediately goes up and finds out this dude's shot in the chest. And I hold the guy's head up off the ground, and Kurt puts his hand over his chest and starts to press down and puts a lot of pressure on this guy's chest to stop the bleeding. And just so you're aware, my father being a Green Beret and he's a paramedic, he's got medical skills, and he's taught us a few things about, you know, obviously if there's bleeding, cut the blood circulation off so that the body will produce blood clots and that they don't bleed out to death. So Kurt's holding the blood down, and he's pushing the pressure, and he's praying. And, you know, we're both in a panic, so we're both kind of praying like, you know, God, please help this guy, please help. All of a sudden, this guy wakes up, and he's like, harder, harder, and Kurt's pushing down on his chest. And it was really, really wild, because we had yelled, please call 911. We're holding pressure, we're praying over this guy, and all of a sudden, finally, the paramedics show up. Well, this video that you're going to see here, right here, I'm going to show you snippets of, that's playing right next to us. Kurt says in the video, look, I had to hold pressure on his chest. So, you know, there's a lot of people who showed up and recognized that we had saved this guy's life, right? Well, we were told by one of the cops that he died on the way to the hospital. Later on that week, there were cops that were roaming through the neighborhood because a house had caught on fire right down the street. So we thought, dang, he died, man, that sucks. I get an email a couple weeks later from this lady. She says, thank you so much for saving my husband. You saved his life. And I'm like, what the? Because, you know, my email at that time was a Tree of Life email. I said, hold on, that guy's alive? So I asked her, please let me get your number and contact you. And me and Kurt went to go meet the gentleman. And we met him in person, and he told us the story, and he survived. He was selling Molly, you know, ecstasy, Molly. He was selling it to these guys, and they robbed him at gunpoint. And I guess he wasn't going to give it to them, so they shot him. They fled on foot, and they took off. And this gentleman, from that day forward, I recently reached out to him, and I'm hoping I can get up with him and do like an interview and record. But I recently reached out to him, and he's still going. He likes to research a lot. He enjoys life. He likes to study, and he's alive. He doesn't do anything but smoke pot. And I asked him, I said, what do you do now? You know, do you do any drugs? No. I said, do you smoke? He said, yeah. Yeah, I smoke. That's an herb. That's Mother Nature, baby, you know. But, I mean, everybody has their own take on so much stuff. But here is the video. Me and Kurt were out here, and Kurt ended up on the news. I was trying to find the clip where Kurt was on the news, and, you know, it was a big thing, you know, that we had saved this gentleman's life. It was really, really rewarding. But finding out that he had gotten shot over Molly and could have died over something like that, it brings a whole new meaning to this whole substance issue. And when you have to save someone's life, or when you're sitting there watching what people will do over things like that, it's just crazy, you know. And drugs are definitely one of the top things. I mean, I'd say number one is people. So, like, obviously people are going to kill people over people. That's like the number one. Women, you know, a man for his woman or a girlfriend or whatever. Usually that's the most, I would say, number one, most common. But drugs are right up there. and they're that influential and that powerful. I love you guys. Thanks a lot. I'm 3.5 years clean. I'm going to keep going. Check out the Discord if you want to connect. We're all about connections. There's free meetings in AAA, all in our Discord. And we have a website if you love what we're doing and you want to help participate, or you just want to see what we're up to, rewiredaddiction.com. But here's the video. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you so you see the rest of what took place and the audio attached to it so you can hear Kurt talking. I'm very sorry that the video is choppy. It's on a phone, and we had just been in an extreme adrenaline situation, so it's a little shaky, and I wish it was better quality, but I hope you guys really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Derek Lambert.
How y'all doing?
Good, man. I had to hold pressure on it, man. Gosh. I thought it was a fire. What's your name, man? Chris, I'm Kurt, man.
You told me already.
Yeah, this is crazy, bro. Where you go to school at?
I just got off the bus.
Did you?
I'm kind of worried though, because if I get off the bus again, the guys.
Did you see him?
Yeah, they're like right this far away.
They ran?
Yeah.
Which way?
The fence right there.
Yeah.
You got the fence, you in the woods.
How long ago?
Like at the same time, I walked the corner.
Like when? How long before I came up?
I rented this house, rented that house, and rented that house. Like maybe a minute.
Right. Shit. Did we tell him that? I don't think anybody's told him.
We just have to land.